throughout. We're going to be playing 5 games tonight, regardless of who ends up coming out on top. I'll go through the rest of the breakdown for tonight after our introductions, but spawning in the top left-hand corner for Imperative Gaming, Green Terran player, SCV.
Very suitable for his race, huh?
I would certainly say so, and his opponent, Prometheus Gaming, in the top right-hand corner, the Red Terran player, Orchid.
What is that emblem they have for their clan? It's just like some guy yelling into a mic there.
I don't even know. I'm like zooming in on it right now. Yeah, it looks like somebody literally just screaming into a microphone. So either way, whatever works for them. PvT on this map is actually, I think it's pretty interesting. Habitation Station is one of those maps where, as a 2-spawn map, obviously you know exactly where your opponent is, but it's not so close that it kind of demands super aggressive play. I think a lot of the time you'll kind of see at least one of the players go for a more aggressive kind of one-base, either like Marine Tank Banshee type push, or just kind of Cloak Banshees and that kind of stuff. It definitely rewards that kind of play just because the quickest way to your opponent's base is just straight across via the airways, if you want to call it that. So
we do have a gas first from Orchid too. Sorry to interrupt you, but we do have a gas first from Orchid, so your Cloak Banshee play might come in, or Cloak Banshee's prediction might come into play here.
Yeah, there's still the possibility that he just goes for a super early factory and goes for like a Hellion Marine drop or something along those lines, but generally gas first leads to Cloak Banshee play. Exactly. Later gas being taken here for SCV, so he's still, he's going to get a couple Marines out. He's going to get an earlier expansion, and then suddenly the pressure is going to kind of be on Orchid to get some damage done before he ends up too far behind with his expansion. So we shall see the factory going down for our Red Terran as his SCV heads into the main base of SCV to get a scout off.
SCV did scout a little bit, looking for a couple proxy racks, but did not find anything, so his SCV's about to head up just to see that factory, as it's about halfway done. Marines coming out.
Barely missing the kill on the SCV. Coming out of, God, I can't say SCV coming out of SCV's base. That's so awkward.
We have a second gas being dropped from Orchid. This has definitely got to be Cloak Banshees, right?
Yeah, you'd think either Cloak Banshee or, a popular build that I saw some Terran players like iGx on Root doing as well is they'll fake the Banshee, so they'll basically make you see the tech lab and the starport and all that stuff, and they'll end up getting they'll fake the cloak, so they'll get one Banshee and then get just a really fast Raven, get a tech lab on the factory, and pump out siege tanks and Vikings with the Raven and one Banshee to just get air superiority and with a nice, pretty strong push. So again, we'll see. There's lots of different opportunities, but neither player forced to defend Reapers, which is always really nice in the TVT, not to have to worry about those nasty guys.
We do have a tech log coming out of Orchid's factory and a fast expand from SCV, as his factory is just about halfway done by now. So while that Banshee play might hit hard, there is a reactor coming out from Orchid's factory.
Yeah, so there is, in fact, even with the scan, he's going to get the Banshee and the Cloak. So it looks like Orchid is pretty committed to this, to at least getting that Cloak out for his Banshees. Again, Cloak a little while ago was reduced in price. It's only 100 gas now, so a little bit more affordable. You don't have to get quite as much damage done to make it worthwhile. But after these 6 Marines now, we're seeing SCV transition to Reactor Hellions here, which is actually, you might think is a little bit riskier, like don't you need Marines against the Banshees? Well, getting a turret in his main mineral line and the 6 Marines will be enough to at least deter the Banshee for a little while, but these Hellions could prove to be really, really annoying if they can hit a timing here, which it looks like they just might have a small window with this reactor starting now on the barracks.
Orchid is trying to throw down a bunker, as you said that, but these two Hellions might get killed as they try to bust up the ramp. There are 4 Marines sitting there waiting for him, but the Banshee is about halfway to the base. Cloak's about 20 seconds away, 25, and it looks like the Hellions are going to get repelled.
Yeah, the Hellions really just there to check out if there is an expansion, just making sure there isn't any sort of aggressive play coming from Orchid. But his Banshee is in the mineral line. It's gotten 1 kill, and it's got a really small window here, but some nice micro from SCV pulling back his harvesters to get them out of the line of fire. Cloak goes down on the Banshee. Some nice kiting here. Forces a scan out as well. Should be able to barely get out of it, and he does. And there's even an SCV for his, picking at the natural. So I think this Banshee well worth the cost at the moment, and he's still got it out there to do damage. He's already used a scan and killed 4 workers.
Yeah, and those workers that were being pulled off were not mining that entire time. And there are a couple sweet spots in this mineral line, so this Banshee's just going to continue to do damage with a second one coming in as well. So pretty much half these minerals are not going to be useful for SCV's main, just because of the placement of that turret. But there is a Viking out.
Yeah, and splitting up these Banshees is really nice too, because it forces kind of a scan in one direction where one Banshee is, but the other Banshee still alive, obviously. So the supply depot looks like it may fall. The reactor now getting picked around by this Banshee, but don't be fooled. There's a pretty impressive Hellion force amassed in the middle of the map. I'm just not sure, Slicer, how they expect to breach this main ramp here with a siege tank and a turret.
I think that medevac's going to help a little bit. Ooh,
that's
look at
true,
that.
just a touch, but
Is that a third Banshee coming out? Ooh. No Vikings whatsoever. This might do a little bit of damage if it gets in. Orchid is pulling back all of his forces to defend against it, which does leave the front open, and there's only one siege tank there. These 4 Hellions can just run right by it.
yeah, the Hellions are going to run by even with the drop in the back. The Banshee is there to help as well, so the Hellions in the natural shouldn't do too much. The drop is forced to lift off at the end. 4 workers, or I think three workers go down here on the side of Orchid. And all in all, maybe worth it, maybe not, but it felt like SCV felt the need to put some sort of pressure back on his opponent.
SCV has lost about 700 more resources than Orchid. Orchid's doing a very good job with both his Banshees and that defense, but Orchid's letting his Banshees kind of die here. And will it get away? Oh, that Viking could get it.
Accidentally.
Oh, that Viking could totally have got it.
I think he could have gotten it with the Viking, but the Banshee does escape, and that's really, really nice because he can repair the Banshee back home and send it back out for another round of just kind of aggression. And there still is no turret in the natural here, and SCV might feel pretty safe with 2 orbitals and a couple of Vikings and all that stuff. But if this Banshee right here that's coming across the map does cloak and go into the natural and it avoids a scan, well, it's going to be in a pretty decent spot. Here it cloaks. It's going to start picking away at this siege tank, it looks like. It's going to have to get out of the range of the scan and does so. But again, now it's in the red. So I'm not sure if that was the best use, but hold the phone here, Slicer. There's that big push I was talking about coming across the map from Orchid. Just a really menacing push. 4 siege tanks in the mix, a handful of Marines, even a medevac to heal them, and those Banshees are going to prove all too powerful at picking off those tanks.
Oh, with 4 siege tanks, they can just bust up this line. There's only 1 siege tank left for SCV. He's got to pull off everything, but there's no scan to take out these Banshees, so they're just killing everything. And it looks like Orchid's going to take this first game.
Yeah, just a dominant position on the low ground with the Banshees to spot on the high ground. Again, no scan, proving to be really the Achilles heel here for SVP, losing all the workers to the natural and forced to lift off. It's 88 supply, 242, and it looks like Prometheus Gaming's Orchid takes it quick and early